first share with you why I joined Toastmasters. Some of you may not have heard my story. I'm very open about it. I had a background in high school of speech and drama, so I was comfortable speaking in public, but only if it was memorized, if I wrote. Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. And now, in my present job, I would frequently have to do presentations, whether to my work unit as a supervisor, or to leadership, or even to the entire division, which was over 1,000 members. And my chair at the time said to my administrator, who I reported up to, she needs to work on her presentation skills. Wow, that was humbling. So, after thinking about Toastmasters for 10 years, I took the leap, I signed up. I feel like I have gained skills, but I'm not done learning yet, so stay tuned. With that, I will take you through a very boring presentation, hopefully make it more interesting, Joe Sharp. We'll start today with what the basic course education program has to offer you. It is called the Competent Communication Track. When you join Toastmasters, if you haven't already, you'll receive this Competent Communicator Manual. Inside this are 10 projects that we go through as our first Toastmaster projects. 10 projects in all. And then you gain basic skills in listening, organization, leadership, vocal variety, as Amit so amazingly showed us today, gestures, body language, the basics. When you finish that, you're recognized for your achievement with, it's so appropriate that Tanya shared with us recognition today, because when you get your 10 projects completed, you are now a CC, Competent Communicator. You'll receive this wonderful award, plus a pin. Who doesn't like that? And your Toastmaster Club will celebrate with you. So, the next level is the advanced communication. So we're going beyond now. We've gotten the Competent Communicator. The next step is the advanced communication level. And with that, you'll do 5 speech projects per manual. And I brought some examples here today so that you could see firsthand. So for my next series, I chose the entertaining speaker, because I don't want to be boring. I'm speaking to inform, because at work, well, that's what we do. We inform, blah, blah, blah. Words come out of our mouths and we teach. So, as you finish your Competent Communicator Manual, you'll be offered the opportunity to choose from 15 different, 15 different manuals, and I'm not going to go through them here. You can go to the website if you'd like to know more. Once, to be eligible for this, you have to pass your Competent Communicator Award, and then you have to complete 2 of those manuals. That means that you'll do 10 projects. Very doable. Remember, you've already done it with your Competent Communicator Manual. The other piece of this that I'd like to point out is you can, if you're not quite ready to do this, you can do your Competent Communicator Manual again, and you'll continue building on those skills. So keep that in mind as well. So now you've received the Advanced Communicator Bronze Award. You're ready to go on for your Silver. You get to pick 2 more manuals from that advanced series. You do 2 presentations, such as what I'm doing today, from the Successful Club series or the Better Speaker series. And then you can get to the gold, the Olympic gold. You've now achieved your Silver. You're ready to go on for gold. 2 more manuals, 10 more projects. Another series of talks. And you've coached a new member as a mentor. Has everybody here had a mentor that's a Toastmaster? Very important. Greg will get you hooked up with one if you want one. The other piece of the education program through Toastmasters is the leadership track. When you join Toastmasters, you'll also be given this book. Bring it with you to every meeting. Get credit for the roles you're doing. Andrew, today you would get credit for grammarian and for timer. Check it off. Pretty soon you'll have that leadership award. Very important to keep this in mind. Bring it to every meeting. There's 10 leadership projects in total, very easy to achieve. It helps you develop your skill level, and you get recognition. We love it. And then we go on to our Leader Bronze. Again, you achieve the Leadership Award. You've also achieved the Competent Communicator Award. So now we're bundling them together. And you fulfill 6 months as a club officer. Pardon me. Here in our club, our length of term is 1 year, but you can also fulfill a 6-month commitment if that is all you can provide at the time. And then 2 more presentations from the Successful Club Series. And we go on to the Silver Award. Again, we're building and branching out on what we've already achieved. This time, though, we're serving as a district officer, such as what Tanya did last year as the area governor, correct?
I was the area governor, yeah. Does that count as a district officer?
Yeah.
Woo!
By the way, we're looking for one right now, so if you're interested. And then to be a coach or a mentor to another club member. And then we have the Silver Award for Leadership Track. There's a High Performance Leadership Series, which I understand is very, what's the word I'm looking for, Tanya? Structured?
Structured.
It can be done outside of the Toastmasters Club, but you do need evaluation for it to be counted.
Two Toastmasters to be your partners in evaluating what you do. You have to meet with them at least twice.
And Toastmaster, if they have to be a Toastmaster member
Yes, ma'am.
to fulfill that. And then, this is the gold standard, the Distinguished Toastmaster. And we have had a few of those in our club. Mary Peters, who is now club president for the lunch bunch.
Lunch.
Alan? Cedral, are you working on yours?
That'll take a long time.
Okay. I'd like to share a little story with you. My husband said to me the other day, because I was saying, oh, I have to prepare a speech for Toastmasters. Don't know what I'm going to talk about. This was a couple weeks ago, and he's like, why are you still in it? Don't you know what you're doing by now? And I thought it was a really good question, because actually I don't feel that I have gained the goals that I want to achieve. So I'm still here, and I'm going to stay here until I feel, actually secretly, I want that.
It's not secret anymore.
But to my husband it is. No, but whatever you wish to achieve with Toastmasters, I know I'm getting low on time. Please don't buzz me. I'd like to just conclude with this. Set your goals. Know what you want to achieve. It's okay if you just want to pick up those basic speaking skills. Nobody will push you to achieve more than what you want to achieve. But as your club, we're here to help you achieve that. So as your education person, if you'd like to achieve a specific goal, please talk to me, and I can schedule you in for whatever it is that you want to achieve, and we'll help you get there. Thank you.
Take 1 minute for evaluation.
1 minute's up.
Okay. And we have time for one or two? One? Okay. I forgot a bag at home, so I have the magic lunch bag. And there's things inside. So, do I have, and I'm John, I am the table topic master as well. So, and Kayla, you're sitting up front, and fingers are getting pointed at you. So,
That's fine, I was supposed to have a roll anyways.
do you want 1, 2, 3, or 4? 4.
Not like a fake stinky.
No, no spiders.
Oh, good, yuck.
Oh,
Because it's back to school is coming soon, so I have some school-related items in my magic bag. So,
let's tell you about school, okay. Well, these aren't used very often anymore. I do have one at my desk, but I hardly ever use it to pull out staples because I hardly ever print anything. Almost everything that I have is electronic. And that makes me think of when I was a kid. I remember being on the bus, and we lived way out in the country. I went to school, if you drove in a car, it was probably a 20-minute drive to school, but when you had to ride the bus, it was 45 minutes to an hour every day. And I remember every day getting on my backpack, and it was so heavy, and it had a trapper keeper inside of it, which had all my folders, all my books, and I would pull as hard as I could on the zipper to get it to close around, the backpack to close around everything that was jammed in that bag. And I would throw it up over my shoulder, and of course I only put it across one shoulder because it wasn't cool to put it on both. But if I was carrying it now, it would be on both. And then, so I would haul myself out to the bus. Then when I got to my house, we lived on top of a very large hill. I would say our driveway was at least a quarter-mile long, dirt road driveway. And so I would put it over one shoulder again because I didn't want the kids to see me on the bus as not being cool and having 2 straps. And I would drag my backpack all the way up to my house and then whip open the bag, dump everything all over the kitchen table, and my parents would always say, "Do you really need everything that's in this bag?" And I always did. I always needed every book, I needed all the folders, and everything that was in that bag. So when I look at these type of supplies, that's what it makes me think of.
I guess the magic bag will have to make another appearance in the year. And there was no Slinky this time. Now we have our evaluation part. This is an important part. This is where we can give our speakers feedback on the things. And this is where I learn a lot. Even when I'm not speaking, I see and learn from what people say. And so, Degante is our genuine evaluator, so welcome to
Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The role of general evaluator is to monitor the progress or how the meeting goes and invite the evaluators for the speakers. And I would like to invite Chris to the podium.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters, yes, and Anya. I think I like to think that I inspired this because I was asking you a lot of questions after that speech that you referenced a few weeks ago. Because it's always interesting to me what motivates people. I think you simplified it as well as complicated it at the same time. People are so simple. We're all hunters and gatherers. And it's just trying to find out what they're hunting and what they're looking for. you, I think, have a knack for that, and I hope that you showed us your formula. You mentioned that this is a larger presentation that you normally give. It's very
2 days.
wow. It's very tough condensing your own material, isn't it? I think you did very well doing that. There were a couple of stumbles where you went back and forth. I think that was because you know that there's so much more material. And I don't know if your brain works like mine, but oh, I think that's important too. Oh, I think I forgot this. That when you are trying to give a condensed version of what you know so well, that a person stumbles like that. And I don't think that was all that bothersome. It didn't detract at all from what you're trying to convey, at least from my perspective. Your use of anecdotes, I think, is what makes this very positive. You were talking about, I learned something about Ahmed I did not know. You just want to assume people as good as speaker and as professional, they must have just grown up in mail. But yeah, it's nice to know where people come from. Just like your department, they were the redliners, and you did a very good job of telling us how they became. So they had a color green, I don't remember. But anyway, the high peak walkers in the trail of fulfillment. You did a very good job of informing. I couldn't find, other than going back and forth and going over on time, those were the only things that I could think of. And hopefully I gave at least 4 to that one.
Now, thanks, Rick. I would like to invite Amy to evaluate Ahmed.
The gratitude track. The point of the speech today that Ahmed gave was to really organize his speech to get to the point, to have a clear purpose and fulfill that. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and especially Ahmed, my task today is to provide an evaluation to say how well Ahmed did that, because we all know that Ahmed is a fantastic speaker, and he's going to do this job well. But evaluations aren't just to extol our members and praise all of the good things that they've done. There are a lot of wonderful things that were part of the speech. My very difficult task is to provide suggestions for improvement. When we're giving an evaluation to an experienced speaker like Ahmed, that can be quite a challenge. Some of the things I really loved about your speech were the stories, and that brought to the point that you were making in the speech. It emphasized it, it brought us to another level of understanding that really only those experiences can bring. You gave us history, you gave us personal stories that got to the point. Enjoy gratitude. Don't fall into the trap. Read. How you propose an opportunity through humility versus a conflictive attitude and greed. You made that point throughout. And again, those stories brought that attention, that detail and depth that we were looking for. An area that I would offer as a suggestion would be to tell us that up front. Your title gave us a hint of it, the gratitude trap, but I didn't really understand what you were going at until you brought the personal story you had in the beginning back at the end. And I went, okay, now I got it. One thing you might try to do is to have our Toastmaster tell us, what's the point of your speech before you even start? Then you can start with that story, grab our attention, and you didn't even have to tell us what the point was. We didn't have to derive there. The introduction would have told us that coming in. So that's one way to do it. Another way would be to sprinkle it throughout. after you did your opening and you caught our attention, which was really good, I don't want you to change that, but as soon as that was done, tell us why. My mother was falling into the trap of that gratitude. And you alluded to it, but to really call that out and make that statement. And then as you were going through the historical, you can even call it out again. This person was falling into that gratitude trap. Just keep reminding us as you're going through. I think we'll really emphasize that point really well. I also wanted to just talk a little bit about your presence that you have here on stage and how you pull all of us in. You talked specifically about Joe and brought him into the story. You talked specifically about Toastmasters, and that brought in all of the rest of us. You do a fantastic job of doing that, and I think better than many of us, definitely better than I do. It's one of those things that I watch for and I think, oh, how can I be more like Ahmed? You do such a great job at doing that.
Joe is sleeping, so.
Well, now I know what to do when Joe's sleeping.
That's how I'm motivated.
So I'm, like many others, over on my time, thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope I gave you some positive feedback as well. I dropped something, I will grab that, and I will turn it back to you.
Very nice evaluation for a very nice speech by Amit. I would like to invite Joel to give evaluation on the end.
Well, the first thing I have to do is to compliment Deanna for inviting me to evaluate her speech, because she knows I hate PowerPoint. But she tried very, very hard to get beyond it. First of all, the purpose of the speech was clear. We understood always what was going on. Second of all, she had to cover an awful lot of dull information, which she did beautifully. She really helped us to want to learn more about this wonderful club we belong to. And she used some wonderful techniques. I like the props that you used. I like your dramatization and your personal story. You did everything you could almost do to add life to that dull. So, plus for that. You know, I feel the same way that Amy feels. It's going to be pretty hard to make a useful suggestion today, because you're stuck with a PowerPoint. But I'm going to try anyway. The first question would be, I would have liked to have one slide that you made up which showed all the positions you talked about and the order in which they went into it. Because that was the main point of the talk, and it would be good to dramatize that visually. Now comes where I'm really going to stick my neck out. The questions that I was interested in weren't covered at all, and probably shouldn't have been. But the questions I was asking is, where did Toastmasters come from? How come it's really based on Dale Carnegie? And the main difference is that we do the administration, so we don't have to pay money to hire people. And the other question I was interested in is, what good did it do you outside of Toastmasters? Did you learn anything useful when you went to work or when you went to give a public speech? Like Ahmed goes all over the world talking to thousands of people. He must have learned something about that from Toastmasters.
Don't use PowerPoint.
That's my PowerPoint.
Yeah, I knew there was a problem. Anyhow, thank you very much for giving that talk, and I'm sure that we all learned quite a lot of information.
Thank you, Joe. Next thing is I would like to bring Andrew as the grammarian, and then since he's doing the timer's role, maybe followed by his timer's report.
So I know it's a bit of a challenge to do both at the same time, but as grammarian, I didn't see or hear any filler words or ASOs, and everything was great. Tanya, I like the jokes about Amit. I thought those phrases were very good and very spontaneous. I like your phrases of bringing in the Toastmaster, what a Toastmaster would do. Again, no filler words. Deanna, I like your phrases of.
I think, Chris, I don't know if you are going to do the two-speaker model from September.
Yep, I can bring that up next if you want.
Okay, and then, so maybe it's my request to all the Toastmasters to make sure that we start on time so that we can finish on time so that people can go and attend their meetings. Do you have any announcements, Chris?
Yes, I'll just do it from back here to speed up time. We are going to, like Diganta mentioned, go to a two-speaker format, but to kind of counteract the loss of 2 roles, it is actually just going to be a loss of 1 role. We are going to reintroduce a humor and inspiration master role to be done right after the grammarian and the timer to set the mood. And with that being said, I would like to read off the roles for next week, September 2nd. Andy is going to be the Toastmaster. Sarah Jenkins will be the grammarian. Amy Roberts will be the timer. Deanna, you and I are speaking again next week. And Melissa McNallen gets to kick off the inspiration role. Topic master will be Shelley Henry. General evaluator will be Stacy Johnson. Joe, you get to evaluate again next week as evaluator 1, and Kaylee is evaluator number 2. Previously mentioned, no Toastmasters for the week after Labor Day. And next week we will give the roll call for the following week. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. I'd like to turn it over to John.
Thank you. I think we had a very good meeting and we're running late, so I'm going to say there's some salsa up here if anybody wants.